Hello, welcome to another data analysis class. My name is Michael and I'll be taking you on data exploration with pandas, especially those of you who are new to the environment of data analysis with Python. So let's get started. Today we'll be working on how to explore our data, how to select columns, how to select rows, how to check data types and etc. Those the basic exploration we do with our data just to know what our data is all about. So let's dive in. First, I want to see the first row, or I want to see the rows in my data sets, what it looks like. So we use COVID.head. .head is what we use to check our rows. So the inbuilt function, when you use .head, it will give you the first 5 rows in it. Alright, so this is the first 5 row. This is an inbuilt function. Depending on how many rows you want to see, for example, if I want to see the first 2 rows, I input 2 inside of the brackets. When I run, it will give me 2, depending on what you want. Maybe I want the first 10 rows. When I run the code, it will give me the first 10 rows. Alright, moving on to the next one. I want to know how many rows and columns are there in my data set. Instead of scrolling the entire data set to look at it one by one or line by line, we use .shape to check the total columns and total rows. So I run the code. Now we have over 300,000 rows and 67 columns. Okay. Next, I want to see the names of all the columns. That's the attribute of the columns. You want to see the columns. You use .columns, no brackets, just .columns. When you run the code, it will give you all the names of all the columns. Okay. Next, I want to see the data types. Is it a float? Is it a string? Is it an object? So we use .d types, no brackets, .d types. Alright, so we can see object, object, floats, floats, and etc. Next, I want to quickly see what the data set is all about. So we use .info. .info give you the overview of what the data set contains. So .info just give you a general information of what the data set contains. Okay, now we can see that it's bringing out what the total columns and rows. We have there the non-nulls, the objects, the floats, and etc. So .info will give you that. New case, I want to count an item in a column or an item in a data set. We use .value count. So when I run the code, it will give you the result you want. New cases, how many new cases we have? He has counted it. 5,722, 25, sorry. Hand washing facilities, 37. Okay, populations, he has counted it. Or you can use just count. sorry. Or you can use just count. There we go, and it gives us exactly as value counts. So next, I want to see how my tables are being numbered. I want to see how the data set is numbered. We use .index to check. Okay, so now it's telling us that the range index started from 0 up to 300,000 plus. Okay, so that's the range. Next, I want to count the unique numbers in my data set. There are two ways you can use it. You can use number unique or just unique. So number unique can be used to check unique values in the entire data set. For example, this is the entire data set. So if I use unique for the entire data set, COVID-19, unique, it will give me an error. Why? Because unique does not work on the entire data set, but rather it works on a column only. So now let us select a column. Okay, sorry, I need to write this code so that I'll be able to see the column I want to select. Alright, let's say for example I want to count unique values in new cases. So I can do new cases dot unique, and there we go. So we can use unique to count items or numbers in a column and not the entire data set. Alright, so the next one, I want to select a column. There are two ways we can do it. So you can select a column by using square brackets with your quotation mark inside. Alright, let's say location. So you can select your column like this, or you can use dot location, COVID.location, and it still gives you the same results. However, dot location doesn't always work. In cases where you have, for example, let us look at this total cases now. In case where you have space as the separator and not underscore, it will not work. So in cases where you are having spaces as a separator between two words, you use the square brackets. So this way, square bracket, column, then for example total cases. When you run, it will work this way. Okay, so the last part, I want to select a row, not a column this time. I want to select a row. There are two ways we can do it. We can use either lock, that's location, or iLock. Okay, so let us select our rows. Okay, there we are. First, let us use iLock. COVID dot iLock. Okay, so what location are we picking? Okay, let's say index number 1, that's row number 2. When I select this, okay, I don't want it this way. I want to show the entire rows. To show the entire rows, we use double square brackets to select. Alright, so it gives us this. Now we can do the other one too, which is lock. Okay, let's prepare our double square brackets. Okay, let us pick location number 3, location number 5, location number 10, and we run. Okay. Alright, so that's the end of the class.